Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome to Story and Sketch Live with Pamela. I made it. I'm a little late today, just gathering up all the tidbits, bits and pieces, and cleaning up my space so that I can find my product, find what I need when I need it, hopefully. So say hello if you're joining me. Let me know where you're viewing from, how your Wednesday is going. Good morning, Debbie. I also had to brew another cup of coffee. I woke up this morning, had no idea what I was going to create today. So I had ChatGPT help me out with some ideas, just asking it questions like, I need some photo ideas, story, like title ideas, journaling ideas. And so I printed out like I told them I had no idea what I was planning doing today, other than I knew I wanted to do like a grid pattern. So Chat tells me, no worries, Pamela. Let's turn that uncertainty into inspiration. So it gave me a few ideas. I kind of read through those and gave me some photo ideas, even down here, which any of these would have been great. I'm kind of reading through there. Journaling ideas, reflective and encouraging. There's memory-based ones about a particular photo. Here's a creativity focused. I find healing in the quiet moments of creativity. Um, and then I asked it, I thought about my onstage presentation. So that's the direction I ended up going in. Good morning, Charisse. Thanks for joining me today. If you're here, give me a thumbs up or a like, follow. Let me know you're here, comment, maybe where you're viewing from if you're new. So it gave me a few ideas here. I'm going to use OnStage Spotlight. I liked that one. And then I went back and looked at some of my photos. I'll tell you about those in a minute and about the experience. And I didn't get any journaling ideas printed out yet, but it gave me a few ideas here. I'd also told it about the grid layout I was planning. So it kind of gave me some ideas of what to put where. I rearranged them a little bit to what I thought looked best. And I may do a little rearranging on that. And like even down here I was asking it what papers look good together. And it didn't do such a great job. I did share a photo of from the website of what all the papers looks like. And I was thinking about doing a hidden tag idea. Not sure if I'll do an actual hidden tag or maybe just some faux hidden tags because I am going to be using flip flaps today so I can get some of my journaling hidden under those photos. So let me grab my coffee real quick, and why don't you share with me what you have in your cup right now, since it's mid-morning here in the Texas Hill Country, and What, it's getting close to lunchtime on the East Coast, but then it's early on the West Coast. So, what's your favorite morning beverage? I have some. I've been buying the True Lemon uh, lemonade, I guess is what it's called. They're little packets and they have crystallized lemon in them along with stevia. And I drop those in my water and mix it up with a little bit of Himalayan salt to help supposedly with my electrolytes and keep me hydrated. And then I have my coffee. I've been putting coconut oil in my coffee for a good, what, MTC oil, I think is what they call it. Good fats. And I put some chocolate stevia in my coffee too. And can tell and a little bit, tiny little bit of cream. Splenda tea, Debbie says. All right, that's yummy. It's almost like a little mocha because I do the chocolate stevia. I get that off of Amazon. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm supposed to use that. We'll see. I think I have a little heart in here too. That must have fallen out of my scraps. All right, so let's get busy. As a reminder, real quick, the sweet product, the sweet collection promotion is going now through June 30th. And this would be an awesome time to either buy the whole suite for the Boho Vibes collection, or maybe you just want the bundle because when you spend $50 or more with me this week, you'll get the Boho Vibes Scrap and Create kit that I put together. I didn't show this yesterday. Let me see if I can find it in here. Okay, there it is. So here's the Boho Vibes collection of products, page 61. And I actually got to see this page right here all the way back in probably the first part of January or maybe into December. I was asked to present for OnStage. I said, yes, I would love to. All I had to do, well, it wasn't all, I had to do a 10-minute video presentation, but that included me. They sent me all the product for the Boho Suite. So the full collection here, right here. I got a package of the in colors. Of course, there's just two in colors in here, the sea, secret sea and cloud cover. And what else did I get? Oh, I got even the French and German stamp sets because I had to create cards, three different cards that I was required to do that. And you do one in each language. And then I was able to create a couple of other projects of whatever I wanted. So I did a 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout along with a 6 by 8 mini album. I decorated the cover and did like 2 pages in it to share because I only had 10 minutes to present it all. But I created a lot of artwork using this gorgeous collection of products. Cindy told me that when she saw it, she immediately thought of me. The only reason I could think of was because I was about the same age. I think we're the same age. I'm 55 and born in 1970. And I guess it reminded her of a retro feel. And that's actually what I ended up scrapbooking about was photos from the 70s and 80s, and it worked perfect for our travel photos with my family as I was growing up. Check out that Farrah Fawcett hair. Oh, it's so funny looking back on these memories. I love it. I'd mentioned on Monday my mom has and dad took photos from the time I was a baby all through my life, so I could scrapbook my whole entire life because I just learned to take photos of all kinds of events and everyday things as well. So anyhow, I was inspired by some of the artwork featured here. A little bit different look than I kind of went in a different direction with mine, but it's a really neat suite of products. The bundle is, let's see, the full, I think, let's see here. Yeah, the full suite is 63.50. So you could get the whole thing. It's a smaller suite than a lot of our suites are because there's just the stamp set dies, dots, and paper, and these are 6x6 papers. But just the bundle, so the stamps and the dies are $43 when you buy them as a bundle. And then, so that sweet product collection that's going on, promo that's happening right now, you can mix and match the products from the suites and get something 50% off. So play around with that, place your order, and you'll receive let me see if I have one right here. I had them, a scrap and create kit. I think it's just gotten layered under. So you'll get a sampling of these embellishments. I'm going to throw in a little bit of linen thread as well because I used some of that on Monday's project. But you'll get two of each pattern of the 6x6 paper, along with all the cardstock you need to create the projects for the week. So you'll have lots of extra product left over to create whatever you want, cards and so forth. We'll do fun fold cards on Friday. So I've already done the 12 by 12 scrapbook layout on on Tuesday. I just did it yesterday because I missed Monday. But here is what I created on Monday. I did go in and add this a little bit smaller. I just did the exact same rainbow, but left off this part right here and then trimmed it down to make a little bit smaller rainbow. So I felt like that really brought a little extra into the page. I showed how to use those party banner dies, which I love. And then today we're going to create a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. A grid pattern is my plan. Now, I had these left over from my OnStage presentation. I used the foam adhesive sheets, layered that on the back of my Cajun Craze cardstock, and then ran it through with my mini alphabet dies. So I went through my scraps that I had in my Boho Vibes packaging for my OnStage presentation and found I had all the letters I needed for my title except for the O. I had used all the O's, so I took the Q earlier and trimmed off the little tail of the Q to make an O. So I didn't have to do a whole nother set of these. So I have everything I need here to spell out on stage. And then I may pull this up and see if I can get this printed. I have a template for journaling and maybe I can just show you. Give me 1 second. So you can kind of see what I do for my journaling real quick. Let me see if it will let me share my screen. Okay, I think you can see that. So there's my 4x6 journaling block. Morning, Jennifer. Thanks for joining me. There's my chat GPT with some of my stuff that I shared just a little bit ago. Well, and that's my YouTube caption. I even asked it to help me do that. So this was from Monday's, or yeah, Make It Monday page. My page is yesterday. So I don't have my journaling figured out yet for today's project, but like I could go over here. Let me go back through. I don't know if it gave me journaling prompts. Like this moment meant more than I could put into words. I can copy that. I don't know if y'all can see me copying it. I think you can. So like, let me just copy that real quick. I'll show you what I do. And you can write your own journaling. I shared enough with ChatGPT. It kind of sometimes I'll change it up if it doesn't quite sound like me or something I would write. But like I will just stick this in here. I don't want the bullet points necessarily. So take those out. Even the quotes. I don't need the quotes. So go through there and clean it up a little bit. So this moment meant more than I could put into words. From healing through creativity to standing in front of thousands, God is faithful. What I would probably do, I never imagined I'd be chosen to represent what I love most, boho vibes, especially, I mean, I didn't put this in here, but personally, just off the journaling, um, I could even put in there about, I mean, who would have thought that my first year as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be a Stampin' Up! Artisan and get to teach on stage, do an on-stage presentation. Boho Vibes wasn't just a suite, it was my story. I don't know how I feel about that part, but I'm just going to show y'all. So March 2025, not sure why there's a period there. I said yes to what scared me and I showed up. That would be in, well, March 2025. I don't even have to have that part right here, but I do want to, what I say, on stage spotlight. Let me spell it right. I'm probably, let me think about this for a second. On stage, I may do it a little bit bigger. And I just normally stick with this. I'm gonna do it like 24, but I'm also going to come over here because I don't have, my journaling's not going to be, it needs to be smaller because it's going to be behind like in a 3x3 square. So then I would also do, like highlight this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to delete it for a second. Bring that up to the top. I'm going to add in a text box. I can move it down underneath. And then, so I'm using Pages because I have a Mac. I think it's format, whoops, arrange, and here's my size of my box. So I need it to be like 2.75 probably square. And then I can paste my journaling back in there. But see, it changed the font. So let me go back and put it to what I usually use, American typewriter. And then from there, I can do, let's do centered and fill up the space. So maybe 13.5, and we'll put it right in the center there. Okay, so there's my journaling. That's kind of how I do it. And then I just get a four, I don't think I don't know if I have any laying around here. I might, that's hiding. I'll take a 4x6 piece. I'm going to use this. I have a, you can't see it. Okay, I'm going to print this, but I'm going to take it off screen share real quick. So let me know if that was helpful. So I have a photo place card here from Stamping Up. They don't put anything on the back of it, so I'm going to go stick that in my printer. And then I can print that out and I'll have my journaling. And if I want to tweak my journaling a little bit more, I'll do that off camera here in a minute. So let me send that to the printer. I'm printing it on a 4x6 sheet. This right, the paper that I was showing you was 4x6. So I designed it on a 4x6 template. And then my computer printer know to print it on the 4x6 paper that I put in my printer. So it comes out like that. That's just the back of that. So I'm just going to use that for my journaling and my title. So I hope that was helpful. All right, so let's get busy creating. Let me tell you a little bit about my story real quick. I've already shared that I was asked back in December, January, somewhere around there. Cindy reached out and asked if I wanted to present. And I said, yes, I would love to. So she sent me these products. I created them. I created all my samples, and then I had to record myself. So here's a photo of me right at the beginning of my video. Of course, it was a bigger one, but I'm doing 3x3 photos. So I've got just that picture of me from the video. I just screenshot it. And then I finished it up sometime in February, I think. I had a deadline sometime in February. And then on stage was like March 16th, somewhere right in there. 14th, 15th, 16th. I don't remember the exact dates. But so I went back in my photos because on the day that my presentation went live, of course, I didn't tell anybody that I was presenting, and it ended up being presented like all over the world. It started in Australia. So fellow former close to my heart makers that I know were messaging me that my presentation was live at OnStage in Australia, or Brisbane, I think is where it was. And so they were sending me photos of my presentation. There's one of me, talking in the mid sentence, I guess. I have several photos I can add to this. That's why I did flip flaps. And then I also screenshot some of the messages. I got some really sweet messages. These are from former close to my heart makers. I had uh oh, I can't think of her name right now. Um hmm, can't think of her name. She's super sweet. She's a fellow Paper Pumpkin Creatives design team member. She was I think she was the very first one that messaged me when it hit the went live in the United States. So I think it went from like Australia and then the UK or somewhere. I think they were in France, maybe. Um, I don't even remember where it was live there. And then in the United States last. So it was kind of all throughout the day, like Friday to Saturday or something like that. It was really fun and exciting to get the messages and positive feedback. And so that's kind of what I'm highlighting. I might have a couple of more photos. Well, of course, one of these behind here, whoops, will be this right here. So let me trim this out so we have it ready to go. Make sure y'all can see kind of what I'm doing. So that'll be part of my title over here. And then I need this to be 3 inches. So what I do is I could do it this way too. Let me kind of, let me cut 3 inches. That's going to be a little too close, I think. I'm going to do it a little bit bigger so I don't make it too small. Okay, now if I go right at the 3 inches, maybe I'll do half. And then I'll do just a sliver off of here too. That'll be right at 3 inches. So it's pretty much centered this way. And then I can turn it this way and I can see these lines right here. I need to be about at the 2 3/4 and 1/4. That'll give me about 1/4 inch top and bottom, I think. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I did figure out I need a new blade. I think I've worn out my blade in here. I need to also clean this out, it looks like. That's part of the problem. Probably. There's a lot of leftover stuff in there. All right, so this one will probably go underneath here. So I've got, again, 2 sweet messages. I had even more, but I'll probably just do these. I might do one more photo someone sent me underneath this one. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at on that. All right, so I'm going to move these for a minute so we can build up our base. There's all my pieces I've chosen. So I had already cut this like that. This is crumb cake two-tone cardstock, and trying to decide if I'm going to do it this way. I was going to layer, so I'm going to do a grid. This will make it a little bit more sturdy. I was thinking about doing just the full sheet of crumb cake and then cutting this down. So let's look at that for a minute. I'm going to see if I can locate another sheet of crumb cake. There's one. All right, so here's a full sheet of crumb cake. I'm going to do the light side. I've already cut this down, I think. I'd cut it down to 11.5 by 11.5 because I want just a 1/4 inch border all the way around. Okay, now I'm not using less paper necessarily, but I'm just using this crumb cake in the background, like as my base. And so now I can take this and let me see, I think it's going to be 3 1/4. Yeah, so I need a 3 1/4 inch border. So I can go measure it 3¼ inches right down here. And then I'm going to start cutting up at 3¼ inch. And then up here, it means I need to stop at 10¾ inch, I believe. And I'm going to do that all the way around and come back down here. And then I'll have this piece that I can use on my cards come. It could be used for journaling, mats. If I didn't get it, let me go back in here. This one, go up a little bit more. And same thing with that one. I'm not looking right over. I'm not sure if I like this way or not. I didn't cut very good, really. So I may go back to what I was doing, but at least I can show you. My paper trimmer is really not good right now. All right, so I think I'm going to go, well, if I go back to what I was doing, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave it like this, but we're just going to rough up the edges on purpose. So let me do that. I can do both inside and outside. Just will take a few minutes to do. Using the edge of your scissors. So let's add a little extra texture to this. And I'm thinking I might want to stamp on this as well. I want to see what everything looks like first to kind of decide like what color or what do I want to stamp on it. Good morning, Flo. Thanks for being here. Huh, I wonder why that was. Well, I was a little bit late today, but over on Facebook, it shows me on my software program that I use, because I go live at the same time on Facebook and YouTube. It shows me who's on YouTube and who's on Facebook. So right now I see Debbie. How's the sound today, Debbie? Debbie and Jennifer are on YouTube, and I'm showing Sharice and Flo on Facebook. Okay, so I did that already. Now you can go, and this will kind of help with if you don't cut so great, like I did. Of course, you'll have a little bit of mess to clean up. So looking at these stamps in here, I kind of need to decide well, I'll put my paper down and we'll kind of see what might look best. If we want some color, or if we want to keep it a little bit more tone on tone, like I say tone on tone, but like using crumb cake maybe. So I was just showing you this, doing it a little bit different way than layering it onto just a white base. And I do like conserving paper. So I do like gut out the center of my cardstock a lot, especially if I have another sheet going over top of it. Okay, so kind of clean up the mess here. Whoops, we got the fuzzies all over the place. All right, so this will be our base now. We are going to, and the only thing that's really going to show, well, the quarter inch around the outside and the middle will show, but most of the middle will be covered up with pattern paper. So let me put this down on my Versamat so it doesn't move around on me. And then we'll just layer this on top of here. Oops. Camera's like, bring in some color. We're having a hard time. We'll bring in photos. Our journaling's going to go behind here. And I'm not going to put this down yet because I'm trying to decide if I'm going to stamp on it. Let me kind of lay this out. So we've got an area here for our grid. I think I had, now I got to just kind of decide how tight I want to bring it in. I'm going to have my photo in here. And I think I'm going to do my flip flaps on either side here. I'm going to do this opposite down here. I thought about having a third or fourth pattern, but I didn't really like the pattern. I didn't see any patterns I really cared for. And then this is going to have to be kind of underneath the flip flaps just a little bit. Originally it was going to be over on top. I think I'm putting it in the middle. So I was going to do my title down here. So we'll we could probably go ahead and just put this together. Let's do it so we don't have all these pieces. Let me find, maybe, there it is. I need my silicone mat. And now I need my adhesive. Oh, I've had so many projects going on this last week. I keep trying to clean up a little bit after each time, so that's being helpful. I'm putting my things back where they belong, trying to at least. All right, so I chose to put the colors in order that they are right here in this pattern paper. So I'm starting off with the Cajun Craze. I need to lift it up, and there we go. Just a little bit further in the middle. And then the blue, the Secret Sea is next. So you could go several different ways depending on your patterns that you choose. You could do a lot lighter look, not as bold as what I'm doing, but and you get different looks. I think I originally started with the navy, the Secret Sea, as the big one, and then I went down that way and it was a softer look. And this is, just so you know, I used both these dies right here. So to do that, you have to cut this one out of every color. And then you'll have lots of options to create multiple rainbows. They just won't all look the same. Now you could also, I didn't do it, I didn't think about it until just now, but these elements like right here and right here, you can use to add texture to some of these layers. I didn't think about that. I'll have to show you a sample of that, or I'll just have to do it on Friday. Tweezers. Oh, give me a second. I got a little hair right there or something. Okay, I think I got it. And then I chose the petal pink. That'll go in the center, I think. So I'll have all the colors. So something like that. I had a heart over here somewhere too. I could use the heart, but yeah, there's a little heart there as well. You could change that out with a heart too. I think I like that better. All right, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's going to come together pretty quickly. I'm trying to decide if I want to rough up these edges too. Probably not. I might just leave it white because I've got the white frames around my photos. Let me look and see what other stuff we have. So I'll do my title down here, OnStage Spotlight. And I'm going to do it over here, maybe not quite that far. I'm going to do it tight right here. And the reason, because I'm thinking I'm just going to do a little dovetail just to add a little movement, not everything so square. So it'll be right down in here somewhere. Now, I hadn't thought of what I might, if I wanted to do anything in these squares yet. So we'll keep this handy. This right here, there's not a die for this. So if I stamp it, I'll have to fussy cut it out a little bit, which it's pretty easy to do. All right. So I'm trying to visualize if I want to do a little stamping on there. The only one I'm thinking of is this one right here. If I just did some, and I think I have it on a block already. I don't really want a color, I don't think, like one of these bold colors. I'm thinking if I just did it with crumb cake, it would just add a little something to the border. So let's try it out on the back side. I'm going to move this out of the way for a moment and kind of figure out if that's what I'm going to like. It stamps very well. What do y'all think? And I might even splatter it, and that'll just kind of soften it up a little bit. I'll just try it and see. We'll kind of keep playing with it. I've got those dots. It might even be fun to put some dots. I think I like it. I think I'm going to do that just to bring in a little bit of stamping, and we'll see if there's anything else I can do on the. So I'm going to flip it back over to this one. Let me find, and it won't take that long. So I'm just going to do like back and forth, back and forth. So by using the white, we can have a little fun. That one didn't stamp that great, but oh well. It's handmade, it's random, it's texture, so it doesn't have to be like perfection. It's probably pretty good. And then I'm just going to go through. I'll have to clean up my um, glass mat when we're done. This crumb cake really splatters good this way. If you really wanted to dirty it up, you could do a little bit of sponging on here too. Think I'll just kind of leave it like that. But before I do anything else, I'm going to, oops, there we go. I'm going to wipe down this and clean it up. Whoops. Just have a little bit of rubbing alcohol handy to help clean, helps get up the adhesive and gunk off my glass mat. I don't even know what that was that I threw on the floor. Oh, there it is, my tweezers. Okay, so let's get this put down and then we can adhere all of that. Ooh, I have a little idea. That's just how my brain works as I work on this. Pull all these kind of in, so. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Would be fun to, let me find my linen thread. We might could wrap a little linen thread around some of this somewhere. I'm not sure, to bring in some more textures. I really want to incorporate, see if I can incorporate my ribbon somehow. And that's where I was kind of thinking I might do like a faux tag here and there. So I may still be cutting a few things. All right, so let's get, I'm not too worried about those right now. I just want to get all these kind of decide how close I want them in. I'm going to bring in real quick just for placement. I'm going to put these in here. And that'll help kind of, we'll just center that too. I'm going to bring in a couple more. Like one there. I'm not going to do photos here. I'm just using them for placement. All right, I think that's pretty good. So we'll start down here. So how is everybody's Wednesday going? Our hump day. As you can tell, since I turned this over, goodness, these, this is the front, the A side, and then this is the B side. So I'll do my corners. Alrighty, I think that's probably good. All right, so all those four down. Let me think about, let me find my cardstock, my package of all my scraps. Hmm, that might be a little too bright. Look at maybe doing some petal pink, or I don't know if it ended up back in here. Give me a second. I'm wondering if I could do, okay, well, let's get this in here. Don't want to lose my, since I'm going to be doing the flip flaps, I'm going to go ahead and put this photo down. So if I do any type of faux tags, I think they're going to go like maybe over here, poking out. I haven't decided for sure yet. Title area is going to be right in here. So this has got to go flat down on here because my flip flaps are going to be over top of it a little bit. And just centered. I think that's pretty good. I am going to see if I can pop that up. I just need a little, like half of a dimensional. I think that'll work. Jennifer's watching and cleaning windows. I'm gonna do it up a little higher. Okay, I think that's so that really makes a boho vibe to me with the little heart in the middle. All right, and then so all that's down, so I can move all these. This can, well, I won't put this down yet because I want to. So if you're not familiar with flip flaps, these were very popular with Close to My Heart. And when Close to My Heart shut down, closed, Stamping Up purchased the copyright or the the patent and whatever, I guess, from Close to My Heart on them, and they brought them over to Stamping Up. So these are really fun for scrapbooking. But during my onstage presentation, I showed how to use them on cards too. So I'll do that on Friday. So how I like to, you put a photo here or journaling. My journaling could have gone in here if I wanted it to. And this is kind of like journaling, but these are just messages I got from in my messenger. And then you put one upside down. And depending on the way you're going to flip it up, if it goes this way, you'll want it upside down. But you can also do it like this, like kind of a book too. So then it would be different. Okay. I'm going to take, this as my base because I want this little flap glued to the back of here. So I'm going to put some adhesive right up here at the top. I'm gonna, this is a adhesive strip right here. So I'm gonna line up my, whether it's a photo or journaling or whatnot, I'm gonna put it right back behind here so I can't see it behind this one. You can see through it, so that works pretty good. I'm gonna get it as close as I can. And then when I flip that down, it's gonna stick to that adhesive I put on there. So now this is all kind of together. Now I want this adhered to the actual project. So I'll put a little bit more adhesive. I don't have to put it right here because this is, when you peel this off, this is real sticky adhesive right there. So can you see that adhesive on there? So when you put it down, you want to make sure you've got it where you want it. And I'm just positioning, I'm not necessarily positioning the flap itself. I'm looking at my photo that's inside here and trying to get it centered. Again, once you get it down, it's like stuck on there. Now, I personally prefer to put it right down on my page. And then when I put my page in my page protector, there's a technique that you can put it in your page protector. You'll mark the where your flip flap is, and then pull your page out. I'll take a ruler and an X-Acto knife or something. I need something in my page protector to protect from cutting all the way through to the other side. So a piece of cardboard, that comes in our paper packs or something. Um, you can put that in your page protector, and then I'll slice a line from corner to corner of where my flip flap is. And then when I stick my page back inside, I can just put this right through the cut, and then it'll be on the outside of my page protector protected. And you can flip it and flap it. That's why it's called flip flap. Okay. So this one, I'm just going to put this one down, and then I'll put a photo, probably another photo in here when I have an opportunity to look at some of them. All right, so again, very sticky, so be careful putting down your putting it down exactly where you want it because they're hard to get back up then. And you can burnish this down on here. You can also put these flip flaps on the outside of your protector too if you don't want to mess with the cutting. You would just make your page without these on here, put your page in your page protector, and then adhere these to the outside of the page protector. The only thing about that is then you'll see this little bit of adhesive on there. All right, so there's my grid pattern so far. Let's do our title, and then we'll see if there's some little element or something we can put over on here too. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll do a little leaf with some jute and the linen thread on here. I haven't fully decided, but we'll do a little something. We've still got our ribbon. I might want to try to put, maybe I'll do some ribbon, a strip of ribbon, and then the um, leaf pattern over top of it. That might be pretty. I could even do like a little bow, maybe. We'll see. All right. Title. There's my spotlight. I'm going to do on stage. I think I figured out, let's see, on stage. Let me see if I can find a pencil and another scrap. Um, I'll just use this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the T is going to be in the middle. There's my T. Again, adhered some, I adhered my cardstock to some foam adhesive sheets, and then I ran it through with my mini alphabet. Yeah, and I think I'm going to have something else down here too. So I might have one of those, one or two. Um, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. I'm going to put it up a little bit higher, I think. Put it right under my, barely going to put it down. So S, this is Cajun Craze cardstock. I'm not going to press them down, so if I need to move them around a little bit, I can. Hello, Sharon. I love that you're close to my hometown. I think you know that. I think I said that before. I was born and raised in San Angelo. And then there's that. I didn't have any more O's, and whoever uses a Q, very rarely, probably. So I just trimmed best I could the little, I'm going to flip it this way though. Um, I think I'm getting it fairly straight. The little tail or whatever we want to call it. Okay, I was going to say, I know I had an A in here somewhere. So there's my A. Now, if you wanted to draw a line there, you could. I'm just eyeballing it. There's my G. So this is nice because they're kind of raised up because of the foam um, sheets. So see, it's got a thickness to it. And then they're already um, sticky. They already have adhesive on the back of them. I need to bring that down just a smidge. I feel like I was going up a little bit. So I didn't want to press them down too much. But be careful lifting them up too. Okay. Well, maybe that was a little too low. 1 second. Okay, let me bring that one back up. Maybe I had it right and I just didn't see it well. Okay, on stage, I can put it, let's see here. Yeah, I need to get, I'm not going to put that down yet. I think I'll leave it like that for the moment. Now let's look at our embellishing. We have everything down now. There's our flip flaps. I'll put another photo underneath here probably. Or I might do more journaling, talking about just how fun it was to get the messages and the photos. This was a photo. These two were photos sent from people at on stage as I was presenting. They're like, "We're watching you on stage now." I was like, "Oh, that's so fun." All right, so let's look at this. I'm thinking I could either probably maybe do something like this. I might could have it come under here. That could be over top. I think I like that with some, now I just have to decide what color I want it to be. Probably Secret Sea. And then I might do, let me kind of visualize. Let's do this first. We'll build this up and then see if there's really anything else we need to do. Because I don't really want to do any more rainbows or anything. The sunburst, I might could do like a cutout of part of the sunburst or something. I'm not sure. All right, let me get my paper to stamp on. And then I also want to, I'm just going to cut a piece to visualize possibly doing something down here. We'll see. And maybe I can just wrap it around there and then do a little knot. That might be cute. Let's stamp. I can do it right here. This. Let me look one more time. Is that the color I want? So I've got green, so I'm thinking bringing, yep, I think the Secret Sea is going to be bold and pretty. Let's see what this will fit on. Should fit right there. And do I want it on white? I'm going to stamp it on white, but I might do something different. Can't really do tone on tone, but could possibly do this. Let me do it a little bit further away. Whoa, 1 second. I don't want all that to get on my cardstock. Well, hooey. I should be straight on my glass mat, probably. This would have gone a little bit better. See if that works. I still look at me. I keep getting it right on the edge. Can I do it in there? Oh, okay. Here. I don't know what's going on with me right now, everybody. There we go. That's how I should have. And it, look, I still didn't get it. What is going on? Guess my stamp's being a little. Okay, finally. Oh my goodness. Stamp on crumb cake, you think? Hmm. I'll try that too. That you might be right. That might be good. I don't. Yeah, I do have some crumb cake. I did put crumb cake in there. So let's try both of those real quick. Okay, I'll be real careful. See if I can get a good impression. Okay, did that good. So you think that will? I'm scared to have anything open. That was kind of wild. Got that choice. Maybe that. Maybe if I like sponge it around the edges too, um, to darken it up a little bit. I like that. Thanks, Sharon. Again, if you kind of move your scissors around more than, not your scissors, I'm sorry, move your paper around. And I'm not even doing a very good job today of keeping the same distance. Must just be one of those days. I have my new contacts in, so it's not that. Like this, I'll have to feel like I need to clean that up a little bit. Smooth it out a little bit. So I feel like I can see a lot better today. Yesterday, my bifocal glasses were giving me a little bit of problems. I don't usually wear my glasses for crafting, but I needed to change out my contacts and just hadn't done it yet. The stem can be kind of tricky sometimes. It starts getting super small. There we go. That's pretty. I'll cover up the stem a little bit. So you could do a second one possibly if you want to. I'm kind of looking at just there's I don't know if I would want to do this or not. if I want to put, I could stamp this tone on tone maybe. Let's see, where are we at? We're getting close to being done. So, a well move on day. Yeah, exactly. All right, don't need that on here anymore. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this. Like just stamp it under the on stage so you just see a little bit more. Let me see if it's gonna work. If I'm gonna be able to stamp it. I'll get it close to the end. And let's see. I may be asking for trouble doing this. I'm kind of just thinking I want to add some more texture. So I could just do a little border back here, and it's just going to peek through. I'm not going to try to go all the way to the edge. Like I said, it's mostly going to be covered up, I think. Okay, I think that's going to work. Still kind of like it needs a little something extra there. You know what else I'm going to do? I am going to maybe take a, I'm just going to do a little bit, do it this way. Okay, just felt too plain for me. Some minis on here to pop this up. Probably do need. That's good enough, I think. I think that'll work. It's a little bit different. Good morning, Christine. And I'm going to put it up high enough so I can see a little bit of that stamping underneath there. And then let's look at this. I may need a little bit longer piece. I wonder if I can, I think I can cut that one. May just be up here. I don't know if there's something I can do over here yet. I'm going to cut this a little bit longer so that I can tuck it up under there with, I think, some glue dots. Let's try this and see if I can make this work. I'm going to pop this up. Now, if you used liquid glue, you would not be able to get that up, but I'm just going to put some over, just another glue dot so I can wrap this around. And then I'm thinking I'm just going to put this through here and make a knot. Get it pulled over this way a little bit more. Something like that. Just kind of flexing the paper, and we'll put some more adhesive on here to make sure it sticks down good. And then I'll trim those up just a smidge. Like that. Didn't really cut straight. It's a little bit better. I don't know. Where are my? I have some little odds and ends of pieces. Let's see what all we got right here we can maybe use. The green might be nice. Okay, maybe I'll do with a dot in the middle, one of these. Let's see. All these over here. I haven't used any of the Secret C. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up and not do too much more. I think I'll just leave these as they are. Um, maybe bring in a little bit of, I could put a little bit up here maybe, and then down here, what if I do a little bow? Just tucked in here to add a little bit more texture down here. And kind of look like it's going off of there. Trying to decide which way I want it to. Another glue dot. Feel like it should go this way. And a couple of hearts that might be fun to. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use that. Yeah, just we'll do glue. I'm going to do liquid glue on these. Maybe with the dots, we'll bring in all the colors down here. So bring in a yellow at least. I'll do green here. Then pink, petal pink. Let me see where I think I want it. And maybe I might move that, take that one off. See if I can get it up. Yep. Here, I'll just put a few of these around. And maybe a little green one. Okay, I think we're done. I'm gonna call it done. I am using, it's actually off of Amazon. This is, I don't know how you say it. Kokuo a dot liner. It's a Japanese adhesive that I've been using. I like the dotted adhesive. There's also one by Tombow. I used this for years. I had a really big container, it was similar to this. It was blue and it was dots, but they discontinued it, I think. So I grabbed this one, not crazy about this, but I have it as a backup. But like this would last forever and a day when it was, because this used to come in this bigger one. And I'm kind of waiting to see if they're going to bring it back or not, but I haven't checked it recently. But all right, so I think that's it I'm doing today. There's my flip flaps. I'm going to add, I think, some more journaling under this one, just actually talking about what it was like to get the messages and the photos and so forth. This was kind of an overview of it. And then I'll write my personal journaling right there. So there's our project, our 12 by 12 scrapbook page for story and sketch with the Boho Vibe Scrap and Create Kit. Think I managed to bring in all the little elements today. I like how it turned out, bringing in all the different colors down here. And thank you, Sharon, for the idea. I like that on the um, crumb cake. It didn't make it like so bold and bright since we already had this white up here, but it went along with kind of the white around all in here too, so it helped. Okay, I thank y'all so much for being here and for commenting. I appreciate it. I kind of looked over trying to see comments. I think I saw them all. So thanks a bunch. And join me again on Friday for Feel Good Friday, where we will create some fun fold cards, and one will have another flip flap on it. So we'll make a little shaker card. I'll show you what I did, something similar to what I did for my onstage presentation. and how I would show you the sample, but I'm not sure in my stash. She's to sit right here where it's at. So I'll do something different, but to show you how I made my little flip-flap shaker card. So 10 a.m. Central Time on Friday. Don't forget about my Scrap and Create kit this week for the boho vibes. And I'll try to include the flip flaps, or at least a flip flap, in your Scrap and Create kit too, since I used them. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.